name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth. When I'm not on holiday at Walt Disney World, I'm planning a holiday to Disney. And when I'm not planning a holiday to Disney, I'm talking about Disney with other UK fans like me who make the trip to Orlando and the House of the Mouse. So whether you're a parks professional or a Florida first-timer, this is the podcast for you. Each episode, I'll be chatting to other Disney superfans to share memories of their magical times, answering your Walt Disney World questions, getting you all the latest news from the parks, and finding out what's happening right now in Orlando. So get your ears on as we take you to the most magical place on earth. This is the most magical podcast on earth as part of the Secret Recordings Network with Rhys on this episode of the podcast, sharing some Disney World magic memories with us very soon. And we've got some more of your questions I will do my best to answer. Hello to David, who's been in touch. Don't forget, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Podmagical is where we are. You got any questions, do get in touch. David wants to know about dress codes. Are there any dress codes for the restaurants in the parks, particularly the signature dining? Most of the restaurants, you are pretty good to go in whatever you want. You're in a theme park, it's fine. As long as you're dressed and there's nothing rude. Not that things that you wouldn't wear in the theme park, you wouldn't wear in the restaurants. Some of the signature restaurants, like California Grill, you just need to be slightly smarter. So, smart jeans are fine, smart cargo shorts, fine, David. The only one I would kind of warn you about is Victoria and Albert's, which will be reopening very soon, by the way. They told us a couple of weeks ago, July the 28th, Victoria and Albert's returns, a grand return at the Grand Floridian. It is a AAA 5-star diamond restaurant. So you could imagine the dress code for that is, make an effort. Men must wear dinner jackets with dress pants or slacks and shoes, and women may wear a cocktail dress, nice dress, dressy pantsuit, or a skirt with a blouse. Jeans, shorts, capri pants, sandals, flip-flops, tennis shoes, not permitted in Victoria and Albert's, but it's, it's a real experience. But apart from that, dress smart in a smart restaurant, and the rest of the time you're in a theme park and it's probably 90 degrees if you're going around now, so that's totally fine. Any questions, or if you'd like to be a podcast guest like Rhys, get in touch. On this episode of the podcast, well, he got married last year and he's got his honeymoon later this year in, funnily enough, Walt Disney World. How you doing, Rhys?
I'm not too bad. How are you? Nice to speak to you.
So it had to be a Walt Disney World honeymoon then, didn't it?
Absolutely. It couldn't be anything else.
Well, we're going to dig a little bit deeper on later on to find out where you're staying and what your plans are. But tell me first of all, it's the big question. Why do you like Walt Disney World?
Oh, how long have you got? For me, it's like being in a bubble, really. Once you're there at Walt Disney World, you just, the outside world just doesn't get to you. I can remember the first time we went in 2016, and a couple of days after we got there, President Trump got elected, and I thought, oh, here we go. There's going to be anarchy in the queues. But no, do you know what? None of that actually even got into the parks. All the queues, no one spoke about it. It's just so nice to be so detached from the rest of the world while you're there.
Not until they introduced him into the Hall of Presidents, and I think there was a bit of fuss, but was kicked over by a few people then. But
oh yeah, I'm sure
things have changed since then. So, what do you remember about that first visit?
Oh, well, I mean, we were so overwhelmed. I guess we were so underprepared as well, because I think both of us grossly underestimated how massive it is and how much there is to do. So, I mean, I'm ashamed to say we didn't pre-book our dining the first time. So I know, shocker. It was a scrap every night to try and find somewhere to eat, but it was brilliant. No, I can remember we managed to get tickets to Mickey's Christmas party as well,
cool,
which was absolutely brilliant. So much fun.
So where did you go to eat on that holiday? I'm curious now. Where were those last minute reservations that you snagged?
Well, actually, it's one thing I would highly recommend is to get the app, because we were having to constantly look for cancellations everywhere. I mean, we were really lucky. We managed to get cancellations at Be Our Guest. We managed to get a cancellation at Yak and Yeti, which is one of my favorites in the animal kingdom. And all sorts. We ate at Luigi's at the front of Main Street, which is the Lady and the Tramp themed.
Oh, Tony's.
Tony's, yes, sorry, that was it. Yeah, Tony's is great. Yeah, I had some lovely pasta there.
You didn't have free dining, did you, on that trip? It wasn't a free dining plan.
No. Otherwise, I'd have felt really stupid.
I would have really panicked if we've all got free dining, but we didn't actually book anywhere. So while we're talking about food, Yak and Yeti, would you say that is your favourite place to eat in Walt Disney World?
In all the places I've eaten, they do the most amazing mango pie for dessert. If anyone's ever passing there, it's absolutely to die for. And obviously Be Our Guest as well. They do amazing steaks there if you're into your meat. And I have tried the grey stuff. It is delicious.
I don't believe you. You're supposed to say after dishes, yeah. I
did, yeah.
Stay up for that one there, Rhys. So where did you stay on that trip?
First time we stayed at Coronado Springs.
And how was that?
Oh, it was great. It was before it had all been redeveloped. So it was very serene, very tranquil. You know, it's built around a big lake with a big bridge that you can walk over to get from the reception concierge area to the rooms. And it was so quiet for such a big hotel. It was so lovely and quiet, particularly if you'd come back from a long day at the parks. It was so nice because it was all so beautifully lit up around the lake and you could walk across. And I don't know, I think they were like big turtles that they had swimming in the lake, which were really fun to watch while you were walking back to your room as well. Yeah, it was really, really nice place to stay. I would thoroughly recommend it.
And since you've been, I think they've got a couple of new restaurants, haven't they, since you went last time? Since they built the Grandestino Tower. And where did you say second time round? Did you go back there or did you stay somewhere else?
No, second time we stayed at Wilderness Lodge, which was a whole nother level. That was a brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. You know, the restaurants there were amazing, but the atmosphere, it's probably the most Disney-esque hotel I've stayed at because you really feel like you're in a Disney movie when you're staying in that hotel.
And that's pretty much on the door of Magic Kingdom, isn't it? You get the little boat across.
Yeah, it was. And again, it's so pleasant to just walk out onto the promenade and get a boat across to the Magic Kingdom. So easy to sort of get your way across. And then you've also got the monorail Contemporary Resort as well. So you can jump to Epcot there. And obviously now they've got the Skyline as well. It's just made it so much easier.
I do like on a Magic Kingdom day, like in the afternoon, like after the parade, just to get a couple of hours, get the little boat over to Wilderness and have a drink over at Giza Point, just by the big lake.
Yes.
That's a great place.
Oh, yeah, one of my favourites, yeah.
It's great. So as we're talking about hotels and food and stuff, let's talk about your honeymoon plans. So you go in November, which will be 12 months after you actually got married. So what are your plans? Where are you staying? What are you doing?
Well, we're staying at the 20th Century Music Resort this time, just because we are absolute suckers for the merch. So we're trying to save as much as we can for lots of mugs, lots of T-shirts. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We bought a third suitcase. We paid for the extra baggage. We will be bringing half of Disney World back with us, I'm sure, after this honeymoon. So we're staying at the 20th Century Music Resort. And we've got all sorts planned. Some things I can't talk about because it's a secret from my wife.
Okay. So. What can we talk about? What does she know?
Well, what does she know? Well, we obviously are going to be going all over the parks. We're both huge Star Wars fans. So obviously they've built Galaxy's Edge, built when we last went, but we're desperate to go there. So I'm sure we'll be heading over to Hollywood Studios to see what's happening there. And I mean, I love the Pandora section at Animal Kingdom as well. Going there, particularly at night time, is really stunning if you're queuing up for the Na'vi River or for Flight of Passage. Absolutely.
You're not tempted because you're a Star Wars fan to stay at the Star Wars Galactic Sky Cruiser, are you? Or whatever it's called.
Oh, no, don't give my wife ideas. No, I would love to do that. We may well do that, I think, because, it's a special occasion. So there may be some twists and turns she's not aware of.
All right. It's very expensive, though, is't it? So I understand if you want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we want to build our own lightsabers. That's
of course you do.
I do that. So
want to go to Ogre's Cantina. And of course, the big thing you need to do when you go on your honeymoon in November is make sure you've got some dining reservations.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, that's a big pointer for us. Yes.
60 days in advance at the moment before you go. Now, you're going to make some magical memories in your honeymoon later this year, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you for your favourite Walt Disney World memory. We'll take a quick break for the news and then we'll be back with Rhys on the podcast. Just one quick story to talk about on this episode of the podcast, because since our last podcast, in fact, the day the podcast came out, we had the great news that COVID testing to travel to America has been abolished. So what are the rules now? Do I still need to be vaccinated to travel to America? Yes. Do I need to have my booster? No. Just the 2 to be considered fully vaccinated, at least 14 days after your second one. Do kids have to have a COVID vaccine or a COVID test? No. Under 18s, you are fine to travel as it is. One other thing to note is you still have to do the passenger disclosure and attestation forms when you are traveling by air from the UK. That can be completed 24 hours before travel and should be done before boarding. Your airline is responsible for collecting that data, and they will give you a link with where you can fill that form out. And don't forget, you also need to do your ESTAs as well. So make sure you've got your vaccination too. 14 days before you go, fill out the attestation form, have your ESTAs, and have a safe journey. Is there any other news, by the way, actually from Walt Disney World? We'll update that on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at PodMagical. So Rhys is on the podcast this episode, going for his honeymoon later on this year. But what is your favourite Disney World memory from the time that you've been?
I mean, just being there, being in the atmosphere is enough to be a memory. But I think probably 2, there's the first time walking down Main Street it's a bit cliche, but it's everybody's big thing, you know, especially for the first, if you're going for the first time, is as you go through the archway and you just see the castle at the end of Main Street. It's just enough to sort of, it is quite emotional seeing it for the first time. And, you know, and then obviously we were there with Happily Ever After as the firework display. And that was just amazing to watch as well, and just sit and watch and just marvel at the fireworks and Tinkerbell flying across and the lights. And obviously the staff are so lovely as well. I can remember there was, the first time we went in 2016, we were desperate to eat at Be Our Guest, and obviously me being the moron I am, I forgot to we didn't book our reservations. So, you know, we were desperate and we kept looking for cancellations. And by the time we tried to get through on the app, it just someone else had pinched it. So I can remember saying, this isn't going to happen to my wife. We're not going to be able to go. And we saw a cancellation. I ran into the concierge at the bottom of Main Street, and he managed to get it all booked in. He said, did you know that it's a Mickey's Christmas party that night? And right, okay, how much are the tickets? They were like $100 each. Okay, maybe not. We might just have to give it a miss. And he went, okay, well, hold on one second. And he went out the back, and he just came back and handed us 2 tickets and went, there you go, enjoy. And we were just, I know, we were just flabbergasted. Like, we just got 2 free tickets to the Christmas party. We had the most amazing time. We watched the parades. I think I had a bit of a sugar coma going around getting all the mulled cider and and all the candy canes and things like that.
Yeah, and the cookies.
Absolutely. I must have put on about 3 stone on that holiday. Shocking.
It is a great event. Both parties, the Halloween party and the Christmas party, I have, I've got a soft spot for the Christmas, and that Christmas parade with the soldiers. It's just so good, isn't it? Disney at Christmas.
Absolutely.
It's just perfect.
Yeah, we did the Halloween party the second time, and it's great going around. I would thoroughly recommend going around October, November time, because you get to see the changeover as well from Halloween to Christmas, and it just happens overnight. It's amazing.
Yeah. And you'll be there. So if you're going in November, you'll be there for Christmas again. It'll be festive by the time you go for your honeymoon.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'd be snowing in Florida again.
Snowpin. I think that's what they call it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, what is your favourite attraction?
Oh man, I've got a massive list.
Here he goes. Off you go.
Well, I was a real sucker. I loved the Great Movie Ride. I know it's not on many people's list, but I thought that was a great ride. I really enjoyed going through and seeing all the different movies there. Yeah. I'm a big fan of all sort of the old school movies, so seeing all of that acted out, like the Indiana Jones, the Alien, and going through that was just fantastic. I do really enjoy Expedition Everest as well, and racetrack.
Yeah.
That's a really good one as well.
So were you gutted that the Great Movie Ride was replaced with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway?
It was bittersweet because obviously sad to see it go, but I haven't, it wasn't open when we last went. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that one as well.
Oh, it's great, Mickey and Minnie. You'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
Put that on your list.
Absolutely.
What about outside Disney? Did you venture outside the bubble? Do you like to venture to any of the theme parks or any of the parts of Florida?
Yes. Yeah. Me and my wife are both massive Harry Potter fans, so Universal's always on our list as well. We like to go and see all of that and go and do all the rides there and at Islands of Adventure. The second time we did Volcano Bay as well. That was good. Oh, that was a bit awkward. I nearly lost my trunks on one of the rides there. That could have been a real disaster. But and I'm desperate. We haven't been, but I'm desperate to go to Busch Gardens. I haven't been, but I really want to go. So hopefully we'll do it this time.
Have you got a car when you go back in November, or are you going to just use public transport?
I don't feel like I'm brave enough to try driving in Florida, but
Same.
Maybe I'll give it a go this time.
There is the bus that takes you to Busch Gardens, though. There is a free bus that goes from SeaWorld once a day to Busch Gardens.
Go.
There you go. So you don't need to worry about driving. Save your money.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you don't like about Disney World?
The fact I have to come home every time.
Yeah, the paying to go and then the coming home is never a good.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? I think the only thing I could grumble about with Disney is we will always endeavour to try and stay on site, and it is really expensive if you want to stay on site.
It is, yeah.
You can get some really good deals, and they always have deals on, but yeah, it is really expensive. But, if you love the mouse, you'll make money somewhere to do it.
And you're on honeymoon, so you'll always find an excuse. There's always a reason.
Absolutely.
There's always a reason.
Absolutely.
So I am going to give you your perfect Disney World day, Rhys.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Well, me and my wife were talking about this yesterday. We would start by having breakfast at the Grand Floridian, I think, because it's very nice and serene being able to look out onto the lake, and you're so close to the Magic Kingdom as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think once we've had that, I think we'd probably get a boat to the Contemporary Resort and then head to Hollywood Studios. Because we would spend most of the day at Galaxy's Edge, I would say. And you've got the Runaway train, and one of my favourites, I'm a huge Aerosmith fan, so the RockNRollercoaster is a big one for me as well. Then I think we would get the monorail to Epcot for lunch. And it's the beauty of going in October, November time. They've always got the food festival on as well.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can put on 3 stone just walking around the lake.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be our lunch, sort of heading round all there. And then obviously we will have the Guardians of the Galaxy ride open by then as well, won't we? So that'd be fun to go on. Then I'd head to Magic Kingdom for the evening just to sit and relax and watch the fireworks. Maybe a sneaky treat at the bakery on Main Street, because I am a sucker for a Rice Krispie treat. I'm not going to lie.
It's got to be done either during the fireworks or the parade.
It's got to be done.
It's got to be done.
Got to be done. Got to be done. If there's time, maybe squeeze in a drink and some late night shopping at Disney Springs. But I'm conscious that I don't want to cram 2 weeks worth of stuff into one day. So
Disney Springs is open late, so you can do fireworks and then Disney Springs for like a cocktail and a bit of late night shopping.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, that sounds the absolute perfect Disney World day, Rhys. Enjoy your honeymoon. Only a few weeks.
Thank you.
Well, only a few months to go now, isn't it? Are you on the countdown? You got a little countdown clock in the house?
Oh, we've got a Mickey timer, and it's going by the second. I'm waiting patiently. Perfect. Make sure you tag us in your photographs as well, because we want to know what little surprises you've got up your sleeve, so we can share that later on in the end of the year on our socials. We'd love to see what you're up to. Absolutely. Lovely talking to you, Rhys, and have a magical day. Have a magical day. Thank you. Fancy joining me on the podcast like Rhys? Do get in touch. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at
pod magical, especially if you've just come back. I'd love to find out about your experience, if you've been using Disney Plus or the extended hours or what the weather was like. If you are going to be going very soon, I can tell you what the weather's going to be like. It's going to be hot and humid with those afternoon storms. Going to be very busy as well, particularly next weekend. If you're going to be there around 2nd, 3rd and 4th of July. 4th of July. It's American Independence Day, so it's going to be mega busy. If you are going to be at Magic Kingdom next Sunday and Monday, so the 3rd and 4th, you will get to see Disney's Celebrate America, the 4th of July concert in the sky. That's the huge firework display that they do for Independence Day. They don't just do it on the 4th, they do it on the 3rd as well. So Sunday the 3rd and Monday the 4th, 9:20. That is instead of Disney's Enchantment at the Magic Kingdom. Away from that, you've got the brand new Guardians of the Galaxy attraction at Epcot. You've still got the Flower and Garden Festival is on for a couple more weeks at Epcot. You've got the Electric Ocean Nights, which are on over at SeaWorld. If you go in there, when the sun goes down, the night comes to life. There's DJs and lasers and fireworks. They've also got fireworks as well for the 4th of July celebrations. I think theirs are actually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So there's 4 chances to go if you're going to be in Orlando around Independence Day. Top tip for this episode, if you have the Disney PhotoPass, which probably you're going to have for free if you bought the UK tickets, so you'll make the most of those around the parks, getting all your photographs. Did you know there's a PhotoPass studio at Disney Springs, which is included in your memory maker? So if you want a few studio sessions for free with different backdrops, then if you're going to be at Disney Springs, just pop in. It's not going to cost you anything. It's included in your ticket, your memory maker, if you've got that. The PhotoPass studio at Disney Springs. Going to be back with a brand new podcast. More memories, more top tips, more news 2 weeks from now. So please make sure you've subscribed. If you could give us 5 stars as well, that'd be brilliant. It's good for algorithms. Lets people find us. And until next time, please stand clear of the doors.